1987 Philippine Constitution 1. Part 2. Article 1. National Territory. Extent of the national territory of the country. The national territory comprises the Philippine archipelago, with all the islands and waters embraced therein, and all other territories over which the Philippines has sovereignty or jurisdiction, consisting of its terrestrial, fluvial, and aerial domains, including its territorial sea, the seabed, the subsoil, the insular shelves, and other submarine areas. The waters around, between, and connecting the islands of the archipelago, regardless of their breadth and dimensions. Archipelago means? Arca means large, pelago means sea. An expanse of water with many scattered islands. Internal water refers to the waters around, between, and connecting the islands of the archipelago, regardless of their breadth and dimensions. Archipelagic doctrine means. Under archipelagic doctrine, an archipelago shall be regarded as a single unit, so that the waters around, between, and connecting the islands of the archipelago, irrespective of their breadth and dimensions, are subject to its exclusive sovereignty. In water territory, a baseline is an imaginary line connecting the outermost islands of the archipelago, forming the scattered islands as one unit, one country, one state. Distance of territorial sea from the baseline. 12 nautical miles from the baseline. Distance of contiguous zone from the baseline. 24 nautical miles from the baseline. Distance of exclusive economic zone, EEZ, from the baseline. 200 nautical miles from the baseline. Article 2. Declaration of Principles and State Policies. Complete the provision. The Philippines is a democratic and republican state. The Philippines is a democratic and republican state. Sovereignty resides in the people, and all government authority emanates from them. Article 2, Section 1, 1987 Constitution. Democratic government is a form of government in which power is held by the people or exercised on their behalf by elected representatives. Republican state means a government run by the representatives of the people. Doctrine of incorporation is a doctrine which adopts the generally accepted principles of international law as part of the law of the land. What is Doctrine of Transformation? A doctrine which states that international law only forms a part of municipal law if accepted as such by statute or judicial decisions. What authority is supreme over the military? Civilian authority, The goal of the armed forces of the Philippines is to secure the sovereignty of the state and the integrity of the national territory. The prime duty of the government is to serve and protect the people. The separation of church and state shall be inviolable. Article 2, Section 6. Policy of the state regarding foreign relation. Pursue an independent foreign policy. The paramount consideration shall be national sovereignty, territorial integrity, national interest, and the right to self-determination. Article 2, Section 7. Policy of the state regarding nuclear weapon. Consistent with the national interest, the state adopts and pursues a policy of freedom from nuclear weapons in its territory. Article 2, Section 8. Policy of the state regarding social justice. Shall promote social justice in all phases of national development. Article 2, Section 10. Policy of the state regarding dignity of human person. The state values the dignity of every human person, and guarantees full respect for human rights. Article 2, Section 11. Policy of the state regarding family life. The state recognizes the sanctity of family life, and shall protect and strengthen the family, as a basic autonomous social institution. Article 2, Section 12. Policy of the state regarding youth. The state recognizes the vital role of the youth in nation building, and shall promote and protect their physical, moral, spiritual, intellectual, and social well-being. Article 2, Section 13. Policy of the state regarding women. The state recognizes the role of women in nation building, and shall ensure the fundamental equality before the law of women and men. Article 2, Section 14. Policy of the state regarding health. Shall protect and promote the right to health of the people, and instill health consciousness among them. Article 2, Section 15. Policy of the state regarding right of people to ecology. Shall protect and advance the right of the people to a balanced and healthful ecology, in accord with the rhythm and harmony of nature. Article 2, Section 16. Policy of the state regarding education. Shall give priority to education, science and technology, arts, culture, and sports, to foster patriotism and nationalism, accelerate social progress, and promote total human liberation and development. Article 2, Section 17. Policy of the state on labor. Affirms labor as a primary social economic force. It shall protect the rights of workers, and promote their welfare. Article 2, Section 18. Policy of the state on national economy. Shall develop a self-reliant and independent national economy, effectively controlled by Filipinos. Article 2, Section 19. Policy of the state on private sector. The state recognizes the indispensable role of the private sector, encourages private enterprise, and provides incentives to needed investments. Article 2, Section 20. Policy of the state regarding agrarian reform. Shall promote comprehensive rural development and agrarian reform. Article 2, Section 21. Policy of the state regarding the indigenous cultural communities. The state recognizes and promotes the rights of indigenous cultural communities, within the framework of national unity and development. Article 2, Section 22. Policy of the state regarding NGOs. Shall encourage non-governmental, community-based, or sectoral organizations that promote the welfare of the nation. Article 2, Section 23. Policy of the state regarding communication and information. The state recognizes the vital role of communication and information in nation building. Article 2, Section 24. Policy of the state regarding local governments. The state shall ensure the autonomy of local governments. Article 2, Section 25. Policy of the state regarding opportunities in public service. Shall guarantee equal access to opportunities for public service, and prohibit political dynasties, as may be defined by law. Article 2, Section 26. Policy of the state regarding public service. Shall maintain honesty and integrity in the public service, and take positive and effective measures against graft and corruption. Article 2, Section 27. Policy of the state regarding transactions involving public interest. The state adopts and implements a policy of full public disclosure of all its transactions involving public interest. Article 2, Section 28. Article 3. Bill of Rights. Bill of Rights is a formal statement of the fundamental rights of the people of the state. Rights protected under Section 1 of Article 3 of the 1987 Constitution. A. Life. B. Liberty. C. Property. Due process of law means a law that hears before it condemns and renders judgment only after trial. Components of due process of law. A. Substantive due process requires the intrinsic validity of the law. B. Procedural due process. Legal procedures are required to be followed in the proceedings. Equal protection of the law means all persons or things similarly situated, should be treated alike, both as to rights conferred, and responsibilities imposed. Warrant of arrest is an order in writing, issued in the name of the people of the Philippines, signed by a judge, directed to a peace officer, commanding him to arrest the person, that he may be bound to answer for the offense committed. Search warrant is an order in writing, issued in the name of the people of the Philippines, signed by a judge, directed to a peace officer, commanding him to search for personal property, and to bring it before the court. Who issues warrant of arrest or search warrant? Judge. Can an arrest be made without a warrant? A peace officer or private person may arrest without warrant. 1. When, in his presence, the person to be arrested has committed, is actually committing, or is attempting to commit an offense. 2. When an offense has just been committed, and he has probable cause to believe, based on personal knowledge of facts or circumstances, that the person to be arrested has committed it, and 3. When the person to be arrested is a prisoner who has escaped from a penal establishment, or place where he is serving final judgment, or is temporarily confined while his case is pending, or has escaped while being transferred from one confinement to another. Can a search be made without a warrant? Yes, under the following instances. Warrantless search incidental to lawful arrest. Seizure of evidence in plain view. Search of a moving vehicle. If the person to be searched gives his, or her, consent to the search. Customs search. Stop and frisk. Exigent and emergency circumstances. What is citizen's arrest? It is an arrest made by a civilian, upon a person in the act of committing a crime, without a warrant of arrest. Are evidence obtained illegally admissible? Any evidence obtained illegally shall be inadmissible for any purpose in any proceeding. What is doctrine of fruit of poisonous tree? It states that evidence obtained from illegal arrest, search, or seizure is not admissible in the court of law. What is Miranda rights or Miranda warning? A doctrine that mandates the officer to convey to the person arrested a. That he has the right to remain silent. b. That anything he says can be used against him in a court of law. c. That he has the right to have a lawyer present during any questioning. d. That if he cannot afford a lawyer, one will be appointed for him if he so desires. Right to freedom of assembly is also known as the freedom of association, is the individual right of people to come together and collectively express, promote, pursue, and defend their collective or shared ideas. What is right to religion? It is a fundamental right that allows a person to adhere to his own beliefs and convictions, without unreasonable restrictions. What is included in liberty of abode? It includes the right to choose one's residence, and to leave it whenever one pleases. What is right to information? It is the right to have access to information, on matters of public concern. What is freedom of association? It is the right of workers and employers, to form and join organizations, of their own choosing. What is right to self-organization? It is the right of workers and employees, to form, join, or assist unions, organizations, or associations, for purposes of collective bargaining. What is power of eminent domain? It is a right of the government, to take private property for public use, after payment of just compensation. Just compensation means the full and fair equivalent of the loss of the property, taken from its owner, as a result of expropriation. What is power of expropriation? It is a process by which all executive agencies, the local governments and public utilities, empowered with the exercise of the right of eminent domain, to take or condemn private property. Can the government forcibly take your private property? Yes. Under its eminent domain power, it can take an appropriate private property for public use, and whenever the public exigency requires it. Rights of the accused under the Constitution. Right to remain silent. Right to have competent and independent counsel, preferably of his own choice. Right to counsel. No torture, force, violence, threat, intimidation, or any other means which vitiate the free will, shall be used against him. Right to bail. Right to due process. Right to a speedy disposition of their cases before all judicial, quasi-judicial, or administrative bodies. Right to self-incrimination. What is writ of habeas corpus? Writ of habeas corpus, often shortened to habeas corpus, is the requirement that an arrested person be brought before a judge or court, before being detained or imprisoned. What is trial in absentia? It is a criminal proceeding in a court of law, in which the person who is subject to investigation, is not physically present despite due notice. Can I be detained solely for my political belief? No person shall be detained solely by reason of his political beliefs and aspirations. Can I force my Qasem Bahai, or domestic helper, to work as payment for her unpaid debt? No involuntary servitude in any form shall exist, except as a punishment for a crime, whereof the party shall have been duly convicted. Can I be imprisoned for my failure to pay my debt or poll tax? No person shall be imprisoned for debt, or non-payment of a poll tax. What is double jeopardy? It refers to a person who is charged with an offense, and the case is terminated, either by acquittal or conviction, or in any other manner, without the consent of the accused. The latter cannot again be charged with the same or identical offense. What is ex post facto law? Is one which makes an action done before the passing of the law, and which was innocent when done, criminal, and punishes such action, or which aggravates a crime, or makes it greater than when it was committed. What is Bill of Attainder? It is a legislative act which inflicts punishment without trial. What is involuntary servitude? Refers to a condition of enforced and compulsory service, induced by another, by means of any scheme, plan, or pattern.